were given the name Esau, man. So it's just. It's all about justice. It says, Isaiah 10:3, and what will you do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will you flee for help? And where will you leave your glory? Where are you going to leave your glory, man? Because your glory is slowly being stripped away from you. And that's talking about the transition of kingdoms. You're not going to be in rulership no more pretty soon, man. You got Russia ready. Vladimir Putin, man. He's not playing, man. Now they're saying that Russia has something to do with compromising the votes. So now all that's going to be drawn back and recounted. See, that they had hackers from Russia that hacked into the system, man. There's things that are going on that people ain't really paying attention to, man. Only the prophets, the men of the Lord, are going to be occupied meditating upon these things, man. And doing what? Bringing it forth out here onto the highways and the hedges, man. Whether people are listening or not. Truth is being put out, man. And the Lord is sealing up those that are destined to receive this truth. Because we need to be delivered, man. We need to be covered in that day. Because if you don't have the covering of the Spirit of the Lord, man, all kinds of things. You're susceptible to anything, any danger, man. You're susceptible to any danger. You know, and that's a fearful thing. That's what's part of one of the fearful things, fall into the hands of the Lord, man. The Lord is a consuming fire, man. You want the Lord to look at you with delight, not pissed off. You don't want to be punished by the Lord. You want to be chastised by the Lord, but not punished. Because that punishment is going to be to where you're going to be destroyed. And that's what's coming, man. Destruction. Isaiah 10:4. Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And his hand is stretched out still. Until when? Till Shiloh come. Until the elect is sealed up, man. That's what he told the angels in Revelations. This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. What is that wind? You know what that wind's talking about? Not in this chapter, but I'll bring it out. This is Jeremiah chapter 51. Start at verse 1. It says, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, which is what? The Icbm missiles, man. So these 4 angels are holding back the 4 corners of the earth, the wind. All right. It says, I'm going to start all over. Revelation 7:1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. What is the seal of the living God? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the Spirit. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So that's what that wind is. That destroying wind is those Icbm missiles, man. Okay? So, until when? Saying, verse 3, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So once that happens, man, hey, this place is game. This place is game for Esau to start eradicating people, man. And that's his plot. You got Project Megiddo, with that they're gonna come after us. You got the Georgia Guidestones in Georgia, where they have set up that they're gonna depopulize the earth to what? What is the minimum? 500 million, Yaakov? Yeah. 500 million. What's the population at right now? 7.3, man. They got Guidestones over there in Georgia that in different languages. They got it in Spanish, Greek, or not Greek, Latin. Different languages. These big tablet stones, man. And they're inscribed with saying that they need to depopulize, get the populations, the Earth's population down to the number of 500 million. And we're at 7.3 billion people on the earth, man. You know how many? There's a lot of people that are gonna die, a lot. And not at that. There in Georgia, at that particular FEMA camp, they got coffins. Well, we know they're coffins, but they're made out of plastic. You know what I'm saying? And they got them stacked, like they got a lot, man. Like, you know, ready. But this man, he has a plan, man. He has a plot, and it's to destroy you, Jakes, man. This is Isaiah or Salakia. Bring out in Psalms. This is Psalms. Khan right here. Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? Us, the elect. Because where are we hidden? In Yahweh Shai. We're not of this world no more. It's like in the movie Neo. Where was Neo hidden? He was outside the matrix, man. He was behind those curtains. And he was looking, he was seeing everything for what it really was. So they're going to consult against his people and against his hidden ones. Because they're going to come after you 2/3. You 2/3 are not going to get away, man. You 2/3 Negro Latinos and Native Americans are going to be destroyed, man. But they're also going to come for us. It says, verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's their job. They want to blot us out, man. They want to take us out. That's why you got Esau trying to go as far as he can to outer space, trying to go as far as he can in the ocean. Because the Lord said, he gave Esau a test. He's saying, if you can measure the earth and the depths of the sea and go out to the further part of the space, and if the sun and the moon cease to exist, then my people will cease to exist. Which means that Israel exists. So he gave him a test saying, if you can do these things, hey, my covenants will go away, my promises will go away. But Esau can't do it. You can't do it. You send the strongest submarine down the ocean, what's gonna happen? It's gonna crush like a can, man. But you go so far in the heavens, what's gonna happen? You know, you got radiation up there, man. They got a barrier that they can't pass. There's barriers upon barriers when you start leaving this atmosphere. You can't get past, man. You can't thrive out there. That's why they send the satellites out there to do the work, to take the pictures. That's the nest. That's where he sets his nest, which is the satellites, man. But you can't compete with the Lord, man. You can't outsmart Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. He created you. Didn't I brought out earlier that he created the waster to destroy? The smith that bloweth the coal in the fire? You know? He knows you, man. You can't outsmart Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man, which is a black man from the tribe of Judah. But it goes in right here. It tells you all the nations that are going to rise up. Psalms 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. What are they confederate against? Ultimately, I mean, it's Yahweh Shai, but also it's the men that are on the highways and the hedges, man. Presenting their bodies a living sacrifice, standing up in great boldness against our enemy, man. And drawing in the rest of our brothers, man, that believe, that have faith, that want to be rescued and redeemed. They hate that. The other nations hate that. So they're consulting. They're coming to an agreement. Okay, how can we get rid of this? How can we get rid of this problem? Because they're already talking about trying to doing the internet kill switch. And anybody that's talking about like hate, any type of hate speech, that they're gonna take away those videos, man. So slowly but gradually, we're coming into those times where they're gonna deal away with the certain brothers' videos. You know, we already know that they're deleting accounts. They control the views. You know, there was messages on our channel that are in a whole different file that they weren't, when brother was sending messages, they were sending them to a whole different file. They weren't popping up right there for me to view them. You know what I'm saying? So the Esau controls it. You know? But it says, Psalms 83 and 6, the tabernacles of Edom. So it's going to go into all these nations that are confederate, or that are against us. They're consulting against the hidden ones. The tabernacles of Edom, which is the main head is who? Amalek, which is the people in Israel, the Amalekites, the Khazars, man. All right. It says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Agarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have Hopelin, the children of Lot, Salah. So these different nations are going to come together on trying to come up with a device to overcome the hidden ones, man. Okay. So that's what it is, man. You know, and the Lord's been telling us that we're gonna come. In Matthew 24, it said that when you see the desolation of the abomination of desolation set foot, flee to the mountains, right? That's what he said. But in that time, when Yahweh was on the earth, he was talking about the Romans, because the Romans did go into Jerusalem and ransacked it in 70 AD, man. And then 1 million black Jews fled to the west borders of Africa. That's how you got Jake over there still, man. There's Jake over there still in Africa that are Israelites. They're scattered through the four corners of the earth, man. I think that one of the main parts in that land is Cyrene, if I'm saying the correct pronunciation. But it's a land over there in Upper Egypt or Upper Africa. It's called Cyrene, which they would be known as Africans. But you got Israelites that are over there, man. Ethiopians and things of that nature, man. Okay, but you had that's when Yahweh Shai said, when you see the abomination of desolation set foot, better flee, man, get out. And we're seeing it right now. The abomination of desolation is setting his foot, and he's coming. He's ready to bring in the flood, which I'm going to bring out. It's in Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And what is that standard? It's his word, man. And ultimately, it's going to be him that's going to come from the heavens, and that's the standard, man. But the enemy is going to come in like as a flood. And that's when the martial law is going to be declared. Hey, man, I saw some, man, I don't know if you saw it, but over there in Venezuela, there's cannibalism going on over there. And man, I watched it, but it was hurting my stomach, man. It was going on in the prison where the jailers were feeding the flesh to the inmates. They got one Venezuelan, which they come from the tribe of Asherite, tearing pieces of meat off a dead body, a guy's ear off, man. And another dude, they're feeding him fingers, man. And you can hear them, they're speaking in Spanish, and they're saying that this is what he gets, this is what he deserves, this is what he... Man, I'm telling you, man, we need Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai to come back, man. Because all this blood, man, all these wicked people, and in the book of Ezekiel talks about the rebels. So we're gonna, whenever Yahweh Shai gives us those spiritual powers, man, we're gonna go and weed out those rebels, man. Because you had rebels during the time of Moses. They were destroyed in the wilderness, man. When they were wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, they were complaining and bitching and doing all kinds of just ridiculous. Well, Yahweh Shai was always providing for them, man. But those rebels were being weeded out. But in this come around, Yahweh Shai is going to set those spiritual powers and the elect men to go and weed these rebels out, man. Because right now we're fishers of men. Lord willing, part of that number. But right now we're fishers of men. Then we're going to, after that, what's going to happen? We're going to be transformed into hunters, man. We're going to start dragging these people out, man. Because they're going to be hiding under the earth and the heavens and the waters. You don't believe me? This is Amos chapter 9, verse 1. And I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. So he's going to slay the last of them with the sword, which is the sword is going to be granted to who? To take part in that judgment is the elect. because you got a Psalms, was it 149? It talks about the praise ye the saints. They're gonna bind up the nobles with chains and fetters of iron. This is Amos 9 and I'll start at where I left. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, talking about the earth, because if you know your words, hell goes back to the Greek word Hades, was talking about the grave, the earth. So when you die, where do you go? Your body goes back to the earth, and according to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, your spirit goes straight back to the Father. Okay, this is verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So they're gonna try to go. They're gonna try to be chilling in the heavens and their airplanes and going out into the outermost layers of the earth, in the heavens. That's where they're gonna try to escape the Lord. But he says that thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. Talking about in the mountains. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So they're gonna be trying to hide in the ocean. They're gonna be like rats, man. That's why we call them Amalekites gutter rats, because that's what they do, man. Right now they think they're all good at doing, eating all that cheese and living it up. You know what I'm saying? Those people over there, they're rich, man. Okay, they own the media, they own the Federal Reserve, they govern everything, man. But when the Lord comes back, they're gonna scatter like rats, man, and they're gonna be hiding in every little crevice, man. They're gonna be hiding in trash cans. They're gonna be hiding in fucking the sewers and not dog shit, but human shit. They're gonna be hiding in that stuff, man. From what? From the Lord. But the Lord's gonna find them out, and he's gonna use the elect too to do that too. It says verse 4, and though they dig, well, not only that, you got Leviathan in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got the, what do they call them? Crackling. The crackling. So you got the Leviathan. He's gonna come out, man. That's that serpent that's talking about what I just read in Amos 9 and 3. It says, and thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So Leviathan is gonna be out. He's gonna be getting fed well in that ocean.
That new movie King Kong coming out with
a new King Kong.
You haven't seen that?
Nuh-uh.
He's even bigger, but he's real. Like that's the exceptional one, because I remember Kazak told me that he's coming. Like, the Lord's gonna release King Kong into America.
Yeah, there's animals that are hidden, man, that nobody knows, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't believe in no damn mermaids and things of that nature, but there's animals out there. There's that people don't know. They haven't found out everything, man. The earth is huge, man. They got holes in the earth that got water deep down in that. They can't even get to the bottom of them certain holes, man. What is the highest mountain on the earth? Was it the Mount Everest? Is it Mount Everest? It's pretty. It's pretty big, man. It goes way up into the heaven. You don't know what's up there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's up there. There's things out here, man. They're discovering new bugs and little critters every day, man. It's a new discovery. But going back on to topic, Amos 9 and 4, it says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. And the Lord power of hosts is he that toucheth the land. So people are like, oh, well, why are you talking about hate and destruction? The Lord is not about that. Yeah, he is, man. The Lord he hates this place, man. I ain't talking about the earth, because the earth didn't do nothing. The earth praises him. The earth is waiting for him to come back, man. This is Romans 8 and 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the creatures, the animals, they're waiting for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to return, man. Okay? It says, verse 21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth and pain together until now. So the earth the earth can't wait for the Lord to come back. So that's why you see the earth react. The earth reacts, man. The earth is a living creature, a living creation. Look at the trees, man. The grass, man. All that's living, that's all alive. How do you get, without the trees, we wouldn't be able to exist on the earth, because that's where we get our oxygen, man. They're alive, man. But even all these, the earth is trying to fight back, man. You got the animals fighting back. Yeah, you got a lot of them dying, man. They're perishing because of the pollution. You got the certain plagues that are putting out on the earth and the spirit that are destroying the animals. You hear about those, was it 323 reindeer that got destroyed? And it was by, they're saying that it was by a lightning bolt. But all you see is reindeer everywhere, man, just dead. And they're saying it's because of a lightning bolt. I mean, there's a lot of strange things that are going on in the earth, man. Millions upon millions of fish just rolling up on shore, whales, and all kinds of living creatures, man. You know, those are the signs of the Lord's visiting the earth. Because, you know, it's just the way it is, man. But I'm gonna go back right here, Amos 9 and 5. And the Lord God of hosts is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt. It is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and hath founded his troop in the earth. Who is his troop, man? It's people on this side, man. Well, ultimately the elect, because the elect are the ones that are being transformed into a soldier, man, a man of the Lord. Which the word soldier goes back to the word solitary, you know, which means basically they're alone, man. Jeremiah was alone. Elijah was alone. The true men of the Lord, they're the ones that are separated from the rest of the world, man, and they're being transformed and dealt with the Spirit of the Lord. But even during those times with the prophets, people didn't believe that they were the Lord. That's why they were killing them. Else they would have been like, oh man, you know what, we need to stay away from him. Like Gamaliel during the time of Acts with Peter and the apostles, when they were trying to put him to death or to judge him because they were speaking in the name of the Lord. And what did they tell them? We'd rather obey God than man. But then Gamaliel stood up in defense for them, saying, leave these men alone, lest you find yourself fighting against the Most High. Because if it wasn't of the Lord, these things will come to naught, meaning that it will stop. It's not going to continue no more. So people don't take that into consideration, man. They just keep going and going and going, trying to mistreat and abuse the apostles, which I'll bring out right here in 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians. Let's see. Hey, but the Lord's going to rectify all that, man. All right. We're in the day of judgment, man. The times of great judgment. This is 2 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, chapter 36. Start at verse 15. And the Lord God of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, talking about the prophets, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. Because this is the Lord showing you mercy, man. This is the Lord showing you mercy. Before the great judgment comes, the Lord sends out somebody to go out there and preach and prophesy before the dreadful day of the Lord comes, man. Because he loves, you don't want nobody to die. But because you call it to your own self, hey, that you're going to receive your just reward. Verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. And that goes into what I was talking about way in the beginning of the lesson too, man. These people on the side are abused, man. They're neglected, oppressed. And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai said, because you mess with my people, roughly parent, I'm gonna bring it out. The Lord's gonna tear you apart, man. Like a lion does a gazelle, man. He's gonna rip you to pieces. What's that one in where it talks about that? The young lion's gonna run through that sheep. Yeah. You know, it's real, man, because who is the Lord likened unto? A lion. You know, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, man. He's not coming back all like a lamb, like he came on the earth already. He came as a lamb already, and that was when he humbled himself to death, man. But he resurrected to the spirit and power of his Father, man.
Micah 5 and 8.
Come on, the water. This is Micah 5:8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who, if he goeth forth or goeth through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. So that's Yahweh Shai is going to give us that spiritual power, man, like King David had. And we're going to run through these enemies and just rip them apart, man. But that's the wisdom to those that have understanding, you know. Let me get this one in I think it's Zephaniah or Zechariah. This is Zechariah chapter 12 verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as a God, as the angel of the Lord before them. So the elect men are going to have spiritual powers, man. Why? Because you abused our people, man. You touched the apple of the Lord's eye, which is his people. It's like, man, you're standing there and someone's just like that poking you in your eye. What are you going to do? You're going to end up slapping that person in the face or pushing or doing something or telling them to back off. You know, it's like when we used to play football, we'd be wrestling and you get poked in the eye, you're like, man, you know, it makes you mad. It makes you want to like just turn real quick and just, you know, hit them. But you can't do that because that's your friend. But, you know, that's how the Lord is, man. When you mess with his people, it's like you poking him in the eye, man. You know? But that's what, you know, the men of the Lord, man, because of these oppressive, being through harsh oppression and things of that nature, the elect are going to be granted them gifts, man. You know? And it's just a matter of time. We can't wait for that time, man. Lord will, through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're going to receive that. Let me get that one. It talks about,
where it says that the house of Joseph should be a flame upon Esau?
No, the one where he says he touched the apple of my eye.
Zephaniah 2:11.
Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 12. Or Zephaniah 3:12. It says, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people. Who are the afflicted and poor people? The Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man. Okay? Which they come in different shades of colors, you know what I'm saying? As far as like from a dark brown to the palest of pale, you know, skin tone. But if you come from the lineage of Jacob, hey man, you're good, man. And it's all through the spirit. Like I said, through like I brought out in Romans chapter 8, our spirit bears witness with his spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So you have to go through the scriptures to find that out, man. But not only that, you got, you know, like I can tell when someone's a J. I can tell when someone's an Israelite. You can just tell, man. You know. This is Zephaniah 3:12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity. No, that's not it. But I'll read it anyways. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. So, you know, that's why we stand in great boldness out here, man, like a lion. You know, through the spirit of Yahweh, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the one that grants that courage. Because Joshua was told that, man. Because the Lord said he didn't give us a spirit of fear to be brought under bondage again.
Zechariah 2:8.
What, Zechariah 2:8? Yeah. This is Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. Salakia, chapter 1 verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy power is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. And when you read the Revelations, where it talks about the 144,000 followed the Lamb whatsoever that he goeth, because they're not afraid, man. They're not ashamed to follow the Lord, man. They're not ashamed to observe the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? So that's what Joshua was trying to convey to us. be of good courage, man. Don't be ashamed. Take off that weak ass nature, man. Take off that feminine spirit that's all over America, man. Because a lot of these people are feminized, man. They're effeminate. And the Lord says, no effeminate man shall enter the kingdom of heaven. You got to gird up thy loins, man. Become a man, man. And what is it? Corinthians talks about that. I spoke and thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You know, that's what the Lord is trying to create, man. Because here in society, that's what we are, man. You got 50, 60-year-old people that are still like children. 40-year-old grown men that still act like kids because they don't get what they want. 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. There's no in every single age category, it's that way. So only the Lord could transform you into what you really intend to be, what you really need to be. You know? But that's what the way the earth is. What'd you say, Zechariah?
Zechariah 2:8.
Got the water. Zechariah chapter 2. I'll start at verse 6. It says, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, which is what? America. It says, saith the Lord, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Who's the daughter of Babylon? America. Okay? Because you got what was it? Britain, because that's where America came out of, was Britain, which was the offspring of Britain when they came and decided to, you know, migrate to this land. So this makes the daughter of Babylon, which it goes all the way back to Babel, but you know, through the Spirit, that's how it went down. It says, verse 8, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. So that's what you're doing to the Lord, man. You're like that badass kid that just, you're trying to chill, you're just there, and this kid, he's like, you ever have a friend or something, and then you're chilling at his house, and then the kid just running all over you, pushing you and picking at you, and you know, doing all this stuff. You know, that's what y'all doing to the Lord, man, when you mess with his people. And it says, verse 9, for behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. So it's gonna be that what you sow is what you reap. Revelations 13 and 10. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Revelations 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So that's what we're waiting on, man. We're waiting on that standard that's going to be lifted up from up on high, from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is ultimately the law, statutes, and commandments, which we're doing right now. Okay? We're lifting up the standard, man, this banner. All right? Yahweh Shai, man. Zechariah 2 and 9. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts has sent me. Right. But that's only to those that have that spiritual discernment. They're going to know, like Zechariah, he was a prophet. You had Haggai, he